We spend millions on sleep hygiene, meditation apps, and specialized diets, yet we rarely talk about the single most common source of chronic anxiety for adults in the United States. It outranks work, it outranks relationship friction. It is unresolved financial debt. The problem starts with a biological flaw in human threat detection. Over thousands of years of evolution, your brain developed a highly effective alarm system to keep you alive. But that system cannot tell the difference between a physical predator tracking you through the woods and a looming unpaid credit card bill. This split screen shows exactly what that looks like neurologically. On the left, a physical threat. On the right, a financial one. In both cases, the amygdala, your brain's fear center, lights up red and pumps cortisol into your bloodstream. The issue with debt is that the threat never leaves, keeping your nervous system locked in a low-grade state of fight or flight day after day. As that continuous cortisol drip spreads downward through the body, the physical degradation begins. You start experiencing difficulty concentrating, commonly known as brain fog. Blood pressure elevates. Gut issues develop. Over years, this chronic stress even accelerates cellular aging by shortening your telomeres. This creates a brutal feedback loop. The cognitive decline and exhaustion caused by chronic anxiety make it extremely difficult to think clearly. Poor decisions follow, leading to missed payments and more debt, which in turn spikes the physical stress even higher. Addressing the debt is the most direct way to break this biological loop. By removing the financial obligation, you allow the nervous system to finally stop the constant production of cortisol and begin a process of physiological recovery. You have to pull the numbers out of the darved and go directly at them. For most people, the immediate reaction to financial stress is avoidance. You stop opening the mail. You delete the banking app. Confronting those numbers sounds terrifying, but a psychological paradox takes over the moment you do it. The human nervous system hates suspense and uncertainty far more than it hates bad news. By mapping exactly what you owe, you eliminate the suspense. The anxiety immediately begins to drop. Budgeting establishes neurological predictability. It defines your available resources, creating a clear map of your financial territory that removes the brain's need to brace for a bad surprise. We see this structure in action through zero-based budgeting. This flowchart illustrates the concept. You take your total monthly income block and break it apart, assigning a specific job like rent, groceries, or debt payoff to every dollar. You do this until exactly zero remains unassigned. Every penny has a designated purpose. You remove the element of financial suspense, which signals your brain's alarm system to quiet down and allows your nervous system to stabilize. With the alarm off, you can take action. Neuroscience shows that goal-directed action triggers the brain's reward setter. Making even a tiny, intentional extra payment releases a hit of dopamine. This brings us to a fascinating tension in personal finance. How do you optimize those dopamine hits? Do you follow the math, or do you follow human psychology? Let's look at the debt avalanche method, shown here organized by interest rate from highest to lowest. Mathematically, focusing all your extra money on the highest interest rate saves you the most cash. But visually and psychologically, it's a grind. You chip away at a massive balance for months. The progress is slow, demanding immense patience without offering the reward of frequent victories. Now we switch to the debt snowball method. We rearrange the list by total balance, ignoring interest rates entirely. You attack the smallest balance first. Because the target is small, it gets cleared quickly. Your brain receives a massive dopamine reward, and you roll that payment momentum immediately into the next debt. Those engineered dopamine hits build a psychological trait called self-efficacy, your belief in your ability to succeed. You stop associating your finances with dread and shame and start associating them with pride and reward. Human behavior trumps pure math. The best financial strategy is the one that provides enough consistent motivation to ensure you actually finish the journey. Months into this process, the way you view yourself changes. As you strike through each balance, the numbers prove you are capable and disciplined. You start to see yourself as someone who can handle challenges, rather than someone overwhelmed by them. The biological aftermath of shrinking your debt is measurable. Your resting cortisol levels return to a healthy baseline. Your blood pressure drops. Deep, restorative sleep patterns naturally reestablish themselves. The emotional excavation is intense. You will process grief over the years spent under that weight and confront the choices that led you there. But by doing the work, that shame is systematically replaced by a sense of earned pride. You can start that rewiring process today. Write down every debt you owe. Calculate the total. Then look at the list, pick just one single balance, and attack it. If you find that deep avoidance, trauma, or compulsive spending blocks you from taking this first step, working with a specialized financial therapist can provide the external structure needed to help your nervous system feel safe enough to proceed. The journey requires stamina, but the moment you make that final payment, the result is unmistakable. This lightness isn't just a cleared balance sheet. It is the physiological result of reclaiming your nervous system. In the end, your financial stability and your physical wellness are two parts of the same internal story.